Hello, my name is Jacob Rickman, and if you are watching this, then chances are you are like me. You are a teacher who is finding themselves having to navigate the realm of distance or remote learning. Just with everything going on with COVID-19, it ends up being safer for teachers to be teaching from home and students to be learning from home rather than risking getting sick. So today I want to talk about Google Meet. You may have heard it called Google Hangouts. The two are very similar, but this is a way to host a meeting. It's useful for teachers to be able to host meetings with their students, and it's also useful for admin or team leaders to host meetings with the other teachers or other staff members. So we're going to start with here. So if you just type meet.google.com, if you just type in this part right up here, you'd end up arriving at a screen that looks like this. Now, normally this screen is, it will change like the artwork and stuff, but these are the two parts over here that are the most important. The plus sign with join or start a meeting, and then here where it says nothing scheduled today. If you actually have something scheduled, let's say someone else has created a meeting and they've invited you to it, you'll actually see that invitation down here when you arrive at this screen. And so sometimes there will actually be things there depending on whether you've been invited to meetings or not. Up here is where you'll go if you are looking to actually create a meeting yourself. So let's say you go up here. It says enter the meeting code or nickname. Start your own meeting, enter a nickname, or leave blank. So let's say, for example, that someone has invited you to a meeting and they've said that the password or the nickname is green. You would type in green, you'd click continue, and you end up joining in the meeting. Or say you wanted to create a meeting yourself and you were going to create a nickname or kind of like a password, so to speak, in order to join. So you might type in Kirby, right? Because these are all Kirby and wavy and stuff. And so then that might be the name of your meeting. And so then you can click continue and that would go on its way. Usually I like to leave this blank just because you don't necessarily know if someone else is creating something by the same name. So it's usually just better safe than sorry to leave it blank. So you're going to click continue here. Okay, so we're clicking joining. Hey, hello, I'm here. So you can see the little part that's popping up in front of me is just telling me, hey, my webcam is connected and my microphone is connected. So that way, it's just kind of a way to confirm that yes, everything is working as it should be. Now, if say you want to turn your microphone off, you can click there and turn it off. It also tells you Control D will help you as well. And then same with the camera. If for some reason maybe you just decide you don't want people to see your face and stuff like that, you can click Control E and that will turn the camera off. There are some other settings up here as well. For example, the ability to turn on captions, and there's some other settings in there. For the most part, chances are you're probably not going to necessarily need that. Okay. Notice down here we have some bits of information. This is how people will find you. So once you've created your meeting, right, once I've clicked this button, this is exactly how people would end up finding this meeting that I'm creating. So I'm going to click Start Meeting. Okay. Now you get a screen like this. Notice we see the same information here. Okay. And now we have this copy joining info. That's really important. So if you click on that, that automatically saves that information to your clipboard. You saw a little notification pop up there. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either put it into an email and send that out to the people who you want to communicate this to. Or if you want to post it into like Google Classroom for your students, you can post that information there as well. And this just gives students and your audience a way to join this meeting. The other way is if you want to make sure you only add specific people. You can click invite and then you can kind of go through here. You can type in specific people's names, right? Obviously, that's not going to get a real result. The other way is a call. So people can actually join these meetings from their phone, right? So using like a cell phone, but just by using their phone number. Now with this one, to my understanding, they'll only have the audio. So if you're looking for something where people will actually be able to see a face, then that won't work, okay? But I think, not 100% on that, but I'm about 90% sure on that. But for sure, then you can invite people by their email and go from there. Hello again. So here are a couple of things you can do once you have started your meeting. So the first thing is, if you look down here, you have these two buttons. These are to turn off your microphone and camera again, and this button will end up leaving the call, right? So essentially you end up bailing out if you so choose, right? You can turn on captions over here with this icon, And you can also present now. I'll come back to that in a second because that's actually going to be a kind of nifty thing. Up here, it tells you how many people are in the meeting. So obviously right now, I'm the only person in this meeting, right? I'm the only one who's created it, right? But if someone joins, right, if I click add people, I get that same option again to help people join into the meeting. The other thing here is chat. So let's say that maybe someone is joining and they don't have a microphone. They can't talk, right? Over here, that's where they can actually start inputting. So if I type hello, right? See that message pop up there. It gives you a timestamp and stuff like that. And so you can actually have kind of text messages going on there. Okay, especially if you want to send in links and stuff like that, you can type a web link into there. Right, so if I type meet.google.com, type that, right, people can copy that and then paste that and go into that link from there, right? So that's kind of some good options for you in case there's issues with audio or something along those lines, right? So I click off, that pops away. Okay. There's also some buttons over here. Sorry, Screencastify is giving me some options over there. There's also some buttons over here for additional like settings and stuff like that. Okay. So if you click over here, right, this just gives you more of the joining info to help people join. Okay. You can also add attachments here, right? So if you have Google Calendar attachments, say you've created this as a Google Calendar invite, that you can actually input them there and they'll be available for whoever's joining your meeting, okay? The last thing I want to cover that is really, really important is the Present Now button. So I'm going to click on this. You can actually choose to present your computer screen to your audience. So let's say I present my entire screen. So what it's now going to do is give me an option of how much I want to share. Kind of creates a little inception loop going on there. And I click Share. So now what's happening is anyone who's in this meeting will now get to see this. So if I pop into my drive, I pop into here, I pop into different windows, people will actually be able to see that, right? And as soon as I'm done presenting that, I can click Stop Presenting. So that's a really useful tool if, say, you're trying to give like a little mini lesson to students through this. Then you can have a PowerPoint pulled up, you can have Google Slides, a Nearpod, any sort of presentation tool you can pull up, pop it in there, and then they can actually see that as you're going along. And that way you're not limited to just them seeing your face and you talking at that point, right? You can also select it so it will only be to a specific window. So maybe you have a specific program or a specific like tab that you want to be focused on. You can have it so it'll be set to that as well. And that's just kind of more of a customization option. If you go over here, you'll see there's a few more options, right? You can change the layout. So you can change exactly how all the screens look as far as once people are in, which one will get more emphasis, things like that. You can turn it to full screen if maybe this bothers you or anything like that. Turn on captions again, kind of like right that, and additional settings, right? The other thing is you can actually record your meeting. So maybe you set this up, you're in, and you want to make sure you record things, either just for your own benefits, so you can go back and make things better, or maybe you're looking to record it just for just purposes of making sure everything goes well, right? In case there's any sort of issues or incidents that occur during a meeting and you want to have record of that, then you can have that ready to go, right? So you can record it, okay? And then the last thing is obviously when you're ready to go, you can just go down there and click Leave Call. Hopefully this tutorial is helpful. If there are any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Good luck out there, stay safe, and don't get arrested.